The air was still that evening, with a pale sun dipping into the hills of a small village called Humola. The sound of the crickets had just started when Nena, an elderly woman with a heart full of love but pain in her eyes, sat quietly on the floor outside her mud house. Her daughters, Ada, Nkem, and Iphigenia, were in the house, talking in whispers. Nena could feel the coldness in the way they spoke to her lately, and though she loved them deeply, she knew something was wrong. Ada, the eldest, with her sharp eyes and determined spirit, stepped out of the house with the others following closely behind. Mama, we have decided, Ada began, her tone cold and sharp. You are no longer welcome here. You have become a burden to us. Nena's heart shattered. She had sacrificed everything for her daughters, raising them alone after their father had died. Now, her hands shook as she looked into their unforgiving faces. My daughters, Nena pleaded, what have I done to deserve this? But Ada, Nkem, and Iphigenia only looked at her with hardened eyes. You have no place here anymore. We need to live our lives. You need to leave, Ada said firmly. Without another word, the daughters grabbed Nena's few belongings and tossed them outside. The old woman's tears streamed down her face as she slowly picked up her things, clutching a small cloth bag that contained memories of her life, her late husband's old wristband, a beaded necklace she had inherited from her mother, and a worn-out wrapper she had tied her babies in. As the sun fully disappeared, Nena took one last look at the house she had called home. With a broken heart, she turned and began her journey down the narrow village path, leaving behind the life she had built for her children. Nena wandered for days. She walked past villagers, slept under trees, and begged for food from strangers who pitied the frail old woman. The weight of her daughter's betrayal crushed her spirit, but she didn't stop moving. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew she couldn't go back. Every night, as she lay under the stars, she would think of her daughters and wonder what had gone wrong. One evening, as Nena sat by a dusty road, trying to rest her weary legs, a stranger approached her. He was tall, with a kind face and a voice that was soft but strong. Mama, he said, why are you here, alone and so far from home? Nena looked up at him, tears in her eyes. She hesitated before speaking, unsure if she could trust this man. My daughters, she began slowly, they no longer want me. They kicked me out. The man, who introduced himself as Udo, sat beside her. I'm sorry for your pain, he said gently. But you don't deserve to be treated this way. Udo offered Nena food and water, and for the first time in days, she felt a flicker of hope. He told her he lived in a nearby village and could help her find shelter. Nena, though hesitant, agreed to go with him. As they walked to Udo's village, Nena began to feel safe. But something about Udo seemed mysterious. He was kind, yes, but he rarely spoke about himself. He would ask Nena about her life, her daughters, and her past, but when she asked him where he came from or if he had a family, he would always change the subject. One night, after they had settled in a small hut in the village, Nena woke up to find Udo missing. She searched the surrounding area and found him standing by the river, talking to a figure hidden in the shadows. Nena couldn't hear what they were saying, but she felt a deep unease growing in her chest. Days passed, and though Udo continued to take care of Nena, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. She started to notice things, strange markings on the ground near their hut, whispers in the village when they passed by, and the way Udo would sometimes disappear for hours without explanation. One evening, Nena overheard a group of villagers talking about Udo. That man, one of them whispered, he's not who he says he is. They say he comes from the other side, where the spirits roam. Nena's heart raced. Who was Udo really, and what did he want from her? That night, as they sat by the fire, Nena confronted Udo. Who are you really? She asked, her voice trembling. And why did you help me? Udo looked at her for a long moment before finally speaking. There are things you don't understand, Nena, he said quietly. But know this, I am not your enemy. I helped you because you are part of something bigger, something that even you don't know yet. Nena's mind raced with confusion. What was he talking about? But before she could ask more, Udo stood up and walked away, leaving her alone by the fire, her heart pounding in her chest. The next morning, Udo was gone. Nena searched the village but found no sign of him. The villagers, too, seemed to have vanished. It was as if the entire place had disappeared overnight, leaving Nena alone in a strange and eerie silence. Terrified and confused, Nena gathered her belongings and began to walk again. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew she couldn't stay in the empty village. The world around her seemed to shift, and as the days went by, Nena began to see strange things, figures in the distance, whispers in the wind, and shadows that followed her wherever she went. One evening, Nena came across a small cave hidden in the hills. Exhausted and desperate for shelter, she entered the cave and found it surprisingly warm and inviting. Inside, she saw something that took her breath away, a shrine, covered in beads, cowrie shells, and the bones of animals. At the center of the shrine was a small wooden statue that looked just like her. Nena's heart pounded in her chest as she realized that this shrine was made for her. But who had made it? And why? Suddenly, a voice echoed through the cave. You are chosen, Nena, the voice said. You have always been chosen. Terrified, Nena spun around to see a figure emerging from the shadows. It was Udo, but his face was different now, more intense, more powerful. I am here to guide you, he said. You have a great destiny, but first, you must face the truth about your daughters and the life you left behind. At that moment, Nena's mind filled with memories of her daughters, Ada, Enkem, and Iphigenia, and the pain they had caused her. But deep down, she knew that there was more to their story. Why had they turned against her? What had caused them to reject her so cruelly? Udo stepped closer, his voice soft but commanding. You must return home, Nena. You must uncover the truth. With a heavy heart, Nena agreed to return to Umola. But as she made her way back to the village, she couldn't shake the feeling that something terrible was waiting for her. As she reached the outskirts of Umola, she saw her old house in the distance. The walls were crumbling, the roof sagging, and the garden overgrown with weeds. It looked as though no one had lived there in years. Nena approached the door and knocked, her hand trembling. To her surprise, Ada opened the door, her face pale and gaunt. Mama, she whispered, tears in her eyes. We've been waiting for you. Nena stepped back, confused by Ada's sudden softness. Her daughter's face was etched with pain and sorrow, a stark contrast to the coldness she had shown before. Waiting for me? Nena asked cautiously, unsure whether to trust her daughter's sudden change in demeanor. Ada nodded, her lips trembling. Mama, please come in. We need to talk. Nena hesitated for a moment, but her heart, heavy with years of longing and questions, pushed her forward. She entered the house that once bustled with life and warmth. Inside, the walls were bare, and the once vibrant mats were tattered. Enkem and Iphigenia sat in the corner, their heads lowered as if weighed down by unseen burdens. What is going on? Nena asked, her voice soft but firm. Ada, with a deep sigh, began to speak. Mama, we were wrong. We have been wrong for a long time. Nena stood silently, her heart pounding in her chest. Ada continued, her voice filled with regret. After Papa died, a woman came to our village. She claimed to be a wise woman, someone who could see the future. We were grieving and desperate for guidance. She told us you were cursed, that you would bring ruin to our lives if we kept you close. Nena's heart sank. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. She told us lies, Mama, Enkem added, tears streaming down her face. We believed her because we were scared. We thought pushing you away would protect us. We didn't realize how much we hurt you until it was too late, Iphigenia whispered, her voice barely audible. Nena's breath caught in her throat. Anger and sadness swirled inside her, but she couldn't help feeling pity for her daughters. They had been deceived, manipulated in their moment of vulnerability. Why didn't you come to me? Nena asked, her voice breaking. Why didn't you trust me? Ada wiped her tears with the back of her hand. We were blinded, Mama. We were foolish. But after you left, everything fell apart. Our crops withered, our livestock died, and the house started falling apart. That's when we realized the woman was wrong. You were never the cause of our misfortunes. We've been cursed, but not because of you, because we pushed you away. Nena looked around the room, her heart heavy with the weight of their words. The house was in ruins, just as her heart had been when her daughters abandoned her. But how do I know you speak the truth now? Nena asked, still unsure whether to fully trust her daughters. How do I know this isn't another trick? Ada fell to her knees, her face full of remorse. We swear, Mama, on Papa's grave. We have been living in torment ever since you left. We didn't realize how much we needed you, how much love you gave us. We're sorry, Mama. We're so sorry. Nena's chest tightened with conflicting emotions. Anger, sadness, love. She had longed for this moment, but now that it was here, it felt surreal. Could she truly forgive them? As Nena stood there, lost in thought, Udo's words echoed in her mind, you must uncover the truth. Suddenly, the front door creaked open, and Udo appeared in the doorway. The room grew silent as he stepped inside. The daughters froze, recognizing the stranger who had once roamed their village. You've done well to admit your wrongs, Udo said, his voice calm yet commanding. But forgiveness is not enough. The curse you brought upon yourselves must be undone. Ada, N came, and Iphigenia looked at each other in panic. How do we undo it? They asked desperately. Udo turned to Nena. The only way to break the curse is for your mother to decide. Nena's heart raced. She held the power to decide her daughter's fate. They had betrayed her, abandoned her, and yet here they were, begging for her forgiveness. Could she forgive them? Could she love them the same way again? She looked into their tear-filled eyes, seeing the regret and sorrow in each of their faces. Despite everything, these were her children. She had raised them, cared for them, loved them unconditionally. But the pain they caused her couldn't be erased so easily. Udo stepped closer to Nena, his eyes searching hers. The decision is yours, Nena. Will you forgive them and lift the curse, or will they suffer the consequences of their actions? Nena took a deep breath, her mind swirling with memories, both good and bad. The weight of her choice felt heavy in her chest. She turned to her daughters, her voice steady but filled with emotion. I will forgive you, she said, her eyes locking with theirs. But forgiveness does not erase the hurt. It takes time to rebuild trust. Ada, N came, and Iphigenia wept with relief, falling to their knees in gratitude. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Udo nodded, his expression unreadable. The curse is lifted, he said, before turning to leave. But remember, the bond between mother and child is sacred. Do not break it again. As Udo disappeared into the shadows, Nena looked at her daughters. The house that had once felt like a prison was now filled with hope. It would take time to heal, but they would heal together. But just as peace seemed to settle, a chilling wind swept through the house, causing the flames of the small fire to flicker wildly. Nena's heart pounded as a strange sense of unease crept over her. She glanced at her daughters, who looked just as frightened. And then, a whisper echoed in the room, a voice so faint, it could have been the wind, or something much more sinister. It's not over yet. What will happen next? Will the peace last, or does something darker still linger? To find out more, Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next chapter of this compelling tale. Share your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done if you were in Nena's shoes? Let us know.